Previously on Quest Friends Forever.
Tell Edric that change is coming. Please join me and restore balance to our forest.
Edric knows we're here now.
He knows we're coming, so he's going to be ready. So I feel like we should probably try to get some other spots on our side before going to the capital.
The only remaining stops include Oxalis Grove. It is also the home of the Readers. Anything that you believe to be necessary for the safety of the forest is clearly the right thing to do. You turn back around and you see Barrymore leaning against the cart.
I have an idea for you. It's special, and you're going to like it. I'm not alone, Edric, and people don't stop filing in. There's just like an endless amount of people.
A bunch of vines and branches start snaking out of the founder tree from the entrance right behind him, and they wrap themselves around his ankles, his legs, his waist, his shoulders, and they lift him up into the air and start pulling him back into the darkness of the tree. Are we gonna kill him or not?
As much as I want to, I don't know if it's right. But he needs to pay for what he's done.
So you enter the tree, and what you see in this big, again, this inside of this tree is like an auditorium, like a high school cafeteria. It's a big area in here. I don't know why they would know what a high school cafeteria is in this forest, but either way, that's how big it is.
I mean, our cafeteria was actually pretty tiny.
Well, it's bigger than yours. It's a different one that's big.
Maybe it's like more like an auditorium, like a gym.
Yeah, like
a
a gym.
Okay.
Like a gym.
Yeah.
Does it smell like fake pizza?
No, it smells like trees because it's a tree. And
Tree pizza?
tree pizza, yeah.
Vegan pizza.
Treatza. And
Chorizo?
as you enter, let me do this, please. As you enter the founder tree for this final battle, what you see is Edric. He is elevated in the air. It looks like he is floating or flying, but you can tell by the vines wrapped around him that the vines are holding him up. Stephanie, you recognize this from when you would come to council meetings. That's how all the council members would sit, and they would sit like 20 feet in the air above people. The vines would kind of form chairs under them, sort of, and then like let them down or whatever. He is using that same technology, so he is basically floating/flying here up in the air.
Do I know how that works?
He is controlling the vines.
Okay.
He is using his druid powers to control these vines to do his
With
bidding.
his mind.
So right now he is 30 feet up in the air, hovering over all of you as you enter the tree. He's 30 feet up and he's 50 feet back to start because he got some speed when he got pulled into this tree, and he is up first. I have
And we hear
so many fucking tabs open for what Edric can do. So the first thing he's going to do, he's holding his staff in his right hand with the orb at the top of it. He's been using to cast all these spells. And you see him cast a transmutation spell on his staff. And Stephanie, you recognize this because you can do it too. He has just cast Shillelagh and made his staff more vicious in physical attacks. And for his second action, he lifts a finger and points it directly at Stephanie. And you can tell he casts something.
I can read lips because of my observant feat.
Okay. You see him kind of mutter to himself. We don't always do vocal spells, but sure, it makes sense. He points at you and mutters something under his breath, and you recognize it as the words to cast the spell True Strike, which means he has been granted a brief insight into your defenses and will have advantage on his next attack roll against you.
Whoa. We just started, man.
And that is Edric's turn, which means it is now Stephanie's turn.
Also, sorry, last question.
All right.
I pull out the bee book that I have had for the past fucking
Forever, basically.
15 episodes. I don't know. Can you tell me what is this? Do I need this? Is this a thing that is useful to me? Or, because I open it and nothing happens. And I'm like, oh, but I know it's magic because I did the detect magic thing because that's a thing I could do. Will this be helpful in my upcoming tussle with Edric?
She holds her hand out and she takes the book from you. And she looks at it, and she turns it over, opens it, flips through a couple pages, and then holds it in her hand and closes her eyes and waits a minute and then reopens them. And she says, "This book can summon a swarm of bees.
Okay.
You just need to say the command word."
Do you know what that is?
Well, let me close the book first as to not command them. And she closes the book and hands it back to you. She says, "You just have to open the book and say, bees."
Are you kidding me? That's what that is? That's all I have to do?
What would you think it would be?
Thank you. I'll be ready for Edric now.
She smirks a little bit. She says, "Well, I guess be well. Ha, ha, ha. Good one, Laverne." It is now Stephanie's turn. You are at the entrance of the tree. You have just walked in. Edric is 50 feet forward and 30 feet in the air, hovering thanks to his controlled vines.
Incredible. The very first thing I'm going to do is look at him, open the bee book, and say, and point up to him, "Bees!" and hope something happens. My rationale is I'm hoping that this will, that the bees will fuck up his concentration.
Okay, cool. He is a little further than the bees' range, but the bees fire out of this book with their full bee ferocity and start charging at Edric, and they will reach him on your, I guess the bees have a turn. We'll put the bees in the order.
What if I just run up 30 feet to the
move up
side,
30
away
feet
from
and
my
then do the bee thing.
friends? Because I know he's going to attack me right now. I don't want them to be caught in this. So 30 feet kind of diagonally and shoot them up at him.
That works. The bees fire out of this book with full bee fury. We've all seen Bee Movie. We know what they're capable of. And they start...
We know how afraid Nicolas Cage is of them.
Right. And Edric says, "Not the bees." And they... Well, no, Terry Johnfeld's not here. Yeah, the bees successfully swarm onto him. He tries to control the vines to shimmy away from the bees, but these bees are determined, and they swarm onto him.
So that's 2 3s and 5. So
2
11.
3s and a 5, so 11.
And then he needs to make a poison save.
I already regret giving you bees.
Give her A's.
He rolled a 9 plus 1 for a 10.
So tie goes to the attacker, so he takes 1 poison damage.
Okay. You hear him cry out and curse your name. "Curse these bees," he says, as they... Where do they sting him, Stephanie?
In the eyeballs. on his tongue.
I mean, it's probably going to be
Eyeballs.
his face, because the rest of him is all
draped.
yeah, and all of those vines. So they're probably going for the face, man.
Okay. So he gets some bee stings on his face, and they will remain there for 30 seconds. So 4 more turns. Val, you're up.
Hello.
I was going to try to run up and do a hold person to make sure that he can't get away from the bees. And the
Okay.
bees continue to be an onslaught.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try
Onslaught
that.
of bees. Okay.
An
He's
onslaught
also
bees.
up in the air, too.
Yeah, so you have to run
Yeah.
in.
Hold person has a range of 60 feet. So I'm running up next to Stephanie.
Okay.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
5.
Ouch. Okay.
So what happens?
Dun, dun, dun. You are paralyzed. You are incapacitated, meaning you can't take actions or reactions and can't move or speak. So I'm holding you in midair inside of a swarm of bees.
So, Edric, you see the vines kind of stiffen up around him. They were kind of loose and elastic and moving him all over the place. They suddenly kind of just stick in place, and he is now held inside the swarm of bees. And you see him kind of get confused about, I can't move. Oh, no, he can't speak, huh? He says,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And then I look at him and I go,
So long.
That's a little early for that. But Ellie is up. So as Val runs in, Ellie follows suit and also runs in and realizes that he's not moving. So, hey, he's kind of an easy target. And she busts out her longbow, and she's going to take a shot at this dude. She's just going for it. She saw Stephanie attack, so she's ready to attack. She's going to do 5 damage. Her arrow fires into the air, avoids some of the bees, and hits Edric in the shoulder meat. And she looks over at Stephanie, and she tries to look tough, and she gives you a cool nod,
And then telepathically just fucking got him.
And then it is Jared's turn.
Okay, so how far have everybody run in?
Everybody went their movement speed of 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay, so I'm going to just move up right with them.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and cast Chromatic Orb, Acidic Chromatic Orb at him.
God.
Because, let's just fucking rock and roll. Let's rage.
So Jared runs in and joins this line of defense, or offense, I guess, and throws up a Chromatic Orb of acid damage that hits Edric in the chest and then splashes up. It takes out half of the bees, unfortunately, with the acid, but some of the bees are very persistent and remain, and the acid gets on Edric's chest, and he once again goes because he can't speak. He's not a cow. That kind of sounds like a cow, but that's not what he is. It's Edric's turn, so he can't do anything, right? All he can do is try to break out of it.
You have to do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. He did not pass.
What'd you get?
He got a 2. Plus one, please.
Okay.
It's a 3.
Iconic.
Thank you. So you see him try to kind of scrunch his face and try to pull himself free mentally or physically of this spell, and the vines shake a little bit, but then they snap back into place, and he is still stuck in place, which brings Stephanie to the center of attention.
I love hold person.
Rude is what it is.
First, can we resolve the bees real quick?
You want to do bees first?
Bees first.
Okay, roll for bees.
That's another 23.
Yeah, bees are going to hit.
And that's for 5 damage. Can he make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Of course he will. Crit fail.
Ooh,
Wow.
So how do you want to handle his poison damage?
His constitution is terrible right now.
The bees multiplied, and now they're back to full stack of
Not
bees.
how bees work.
Oh.
So we'll just give him double. So he takes
2 poison damage?
He'll take 2 poison damage, and you see some of the veins in his neck bulge and turn a little purple for a second. He's kind of like, "Ooh." Cool. Do you want to do anything else? Oh no, that's just the bee's turn. So what's your turn?
Yeah, that's the bees. That's not me's.
right.
Jesus.
The way that he is up on the vines right now, he's kind of sitting on them or hanging on them, right? They kind of have him, right? So I would like to cast Flaming Sphere, and my intention with this is to hurt him, but also try to burn the vines around him so they stop supporting him.
So you're going to set things on fire inside of a tree. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cast it.
Okay, and it's for up to 1 minute, by the way.
What does that mean? What do you mean up to 1 minute? It stays? It's like a fixed
It stays
thing?
for a minute. Yeah,
So
it's like Moonbeam.
Okay, so it's not
like a fire orb?
It's not a fireball that you fire once and it disappears. It is a
No, it's a
orb of
5-foot ball.
Okay.
That I can move on a bonus action and stuff like that.
So it's your fucking moonbeam again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire's gonna look way cooler if I burn this fucking tree to the ground because he's an asshole and everything it represents. For me specifically, but also what he did here. So.
All right.
Yeah, it just appears.
So you're putting this 5 feet away from him because you can't put it in his exact space. You can't put it inside.
And then I'm
of
gonna
him.
ram him. I'm gonna ram him with it. It's gonna come. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna
hit
ram
him
it.
with almost like if you're like Harley Quinn with a cartoon-sized mallet. You're gonna whack.
Yeah.
Hit him with, but it's gonna be literal fire.
He has to make a saving throw against the sphere's damage.
Doesn't he automatically save or fail dex saves, David, because of hold person?
Oh, automatically fails strength or dexterity saving throws.
Incredible. That's 7 fire damage, and I'm assuming the vines around him might catch some fire. I don't know. You're the DM.
Goddamn right I am. So this great ball of fire appears in front of him and then rams him, which hits him for some damage. He starts getting a little bit charred, and the vines that are wrapped around his chest and shoulders start to, like when a piece of wood is burning and you can kind of see it kind of turning orange from the inside a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not on fire, but you can tell it's getting hot. That's what's happening to these vines. So they do not instantly catch ablaze, but they are heating up.
Hell yeah.
Val,
I'm going to cast Shatter on him.
cool.
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts at a point of your choice within range, and that is within range. So you know what time it is?
Let's drop the bass.
If he could speak, he would be very offended by your music.
Does he like classical music instead?
Well, he's 800 and you're a robot, so he already doesn't like you. Especially when you're playing loud music, you damn kids.
For a total of 10 points of damage.
Yeah, got him.
Rock and roll.
For my bonus action, I do a little like breakdance move because of the music, and so I land sort of with when you're like laying down on one elbow to the side, kind of thing, and then I prop back up.
It looks amazing. Great job.
Yeah.
That will bring up Ellie. Ellie's feeling it. She hit her first arrow. She's seeing everybody doing successful. She's like just gaining that confidence, thinking like this is actually probably going to work. So she takes a shot with her bow, and she unfortunately is a little bit too amped up, and she arcs it a little too high, and it goes sailing over his head and misses entirely.
Aw.
And she goes, "Friggin' frack!"
It's okay. I'll get it next time.
Jared,
Yes,
do it.
I'm ready. Okay, so here's the vibe. He has not moved. He's been in the same spot, right?
He's fucking stuck.
Okay. I'm gonna use Ray of Sickness on
Ooh.
him. So Ray of Sickness enter
Gross.
Is he going to be down with the sickness after this?
He's about to be. it
He's
sounds
about
like.
to get disturbed. Make a ranged spell attack against
this-
the target.
Is it? Wait. Is his body gonna hit the floor?
That's a different band.
That's
Yeah, I know it's a different band, but it's very apt to
only
just say
if
that,
we
that-
find a
You did not know
gymnasium.
that's a different band.
Only if we find a gymnasium with some body of water for him to then drown in, will that be applicable?
Will he be one step closer to the edge?
That's his third
Yeah.
band.
Yeah. Only if we find him in the park.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 14 +2 +2, so 14, so 18.
You hit.
Cool. So then, takes 2d8 of poison damage.
Man, he hasn't even got to do anything yet.
Yeah.
I got an 8 and a 2. Okay, so 10.
Dang.
Fuck
fucking
me
sick,
up.
dude.
So he's poisoned now.
So that was what did we say? I don't remember.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Sick. Okay.
Okay, I'm up. He is going to try to break the hold. Here we go. 17. Ooh, +1, 18. Ooh, I'm so strong.
Ooh, fine.
He finally shakes the metaphorical cobwebs loose and regains control of his body and the vines. And you see him kind of shake out the hold, but then not really celebrate because he still has bees and fire on him. So,
And he's poisoned.
and he's also poisoned. So he is he can move now
Looking
at least
glim.
though. The bees are up, Stephanie.
No, they're not. First, before my turn, at the end of his turn, the flaming sphere is up because any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. So go ahead and do that.
Oh, we can't hear that.
Is that
on the
a
podcast,
say it for the
Danny,
listeners?
can you say that? Can you say that word
I'm
out
holding
loud?
up this many, which is 4.
Excellent. So that's 6 damage.
Shit.
Not too much. It's fine. Just 6. Now it's the bee's turn.
You always have so much to maintain in all the battles. Like, I need to do my own attack, plus the moonbeam, plus the bees, plus the wind, plus the fire. Like, Jesus.
I mean, all my stuff is nature based. I'm using more spells than I am like turning into things recently. So
Is there any level for me as just the general resident asshole to what is it? Is there like an ego check for this character to where I can like bruise his ego, like spiritually hurt him?
I mean, you could always intimidate or persuade.
Be like, wow, you look so good. Really? No. It's like, fuck his shit. I'd be like, wow, you look so powerful today. Oh my God, thank you. I was lying. You look dumb.
Some Regina George mental warfare.
Yeah, just some very elementary bully tactic is what I'm considering at least.
You could learn Vicious Mockery. That's a spell.
I could. I
That's
really,
literally
literally
a spell.
exactly that.
A spell where you
It's
talk
just-
shit and do psychic damage. Yeah.
The bees got 17 to attack.
Total.
Mhm.
Those don't hit actually.
Oh.
Now that he is
Impressive.
free of the hold and the fire singes him again, he just instinctively backs up with the control of the vines again and narrowly misses the bee stinging his face for a third time.
Incredible. I'm going to use my bonus action to take the flame ball because he just backed up right a little bit. To back up a little bit and then slam back into him with that fireball.
I thought you already did the fireball this turn.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
didn't.
did that first.
No. At the end of the person's turn, so at the end of Edric's turn, he took that damage because he was in proximity to it.
Got it.
Now, as a bonus action, I can ram him with this spear.
Yikes.
Rock
I feel
and
like
roll.
every time we fight someone in D&D and Danny's the DM, I feel like they start looking like the sticky bandits from Home Alone after a while. Like
Just
he's got
covered in
bee stings on his
trash.
face and fire marks and just totally beat up.
I got a 9, so you take 9 fire damage.
And you are propelling it at him again, right?
Yeah. Just
It's like a wrecking ball that's made of fire.
Exactly. So this fire wrecking ball, as he backs up from the bees, follows him basically and smashes into his chestal area again.
on top of
Yeah.
the acid mark, right?
Right. Where he's all acidy and fiery and beesy. This once again hits him on the chest where the vines are holding him, and those chest vines and shoulder vines have caught ablaze.
Ooh, incredible.
Iconic.
And he looks not happy about that outcome. Now go ahead and do your actual turn, you monster.
Look, I am the protector. I am
Yeah.
very good at things, okay?
That's true.
So, is there a celestial beast list that I can look up?
Jesus Christ. I'm excited.
That's
fun.
Celestial beasts?
You mean like when you turned into like a tiger or
Yeah.
bear or lion, whatever the fuck you did?
Summon celestial beast.
So a celestial beast would just be a beast that is celestial.
It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's a Patronus deer.
This corporeal form
So-
uses the bestial spirit stat block. So it
Okay.
can only be a small beast. So it's just basically how do you want it to look?
Okay, so I am going to summon a celestial hawk. Haha. And I'm gonna say mine's better. Okay.
Is
plus
this
the
yet
level.
another NPC on your side that has its own role and damage and everything now too?
Yeah, I have a list. It's fine. It's fine.
Fucking hell.
I mean, honestly, Jess, we can sit out if you want to sing. if you want to take care of him, by all means. Like,
get it.
I'm
You've got
happy to
this
sit
whole,
back
like-
and enjoy.
I get it. You've got this whole Neo Jesus thing going on here. It's fine. You have your big battle. We'll meet you at the end credits. How's that?
I mean, well, I'm trying not to be like that person.
No, fuck it up. We're a team, and if you have the capability, rock and roll.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna go up behind Edric, so presumably he doesn't maybe notice it right away. And it's just going to like conk him on the head,
On
like
the
on the
old
back
noggin.
of the head.
Start pecking
Yeah.
at the back of his head.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
Wah, wah.
space hawk is not used to being alive yet since it just got summoned out of the spectral ether, and it lets out a frightening caw. But as it goes to scratch or bonk Edric on the noggin, it kind of misjudges its flight pattern and does not connect. But it is there now. Oh,
Good
boy.
try.
Okay, so you're done, right? You did
Yes.
2 fireballs, some bees, and a hawk.
Yes.
The new
Partridge
album
in a
from
pear
Danger
tree.
Inc.
Honestly, sounds like a good meal.
Val, go for it.
Oh boy.
Val, I choose you.
I'm not a Pokemon. So I'm just going to cast Vicious Mockery at this
Okay.
fool. And I'm
Do
going
it.
to say,
Let's drop the bass.
there it is.
He doesn't like the music, that's for sure. 11 plus 2, 13.
Damn it. Missed it by 1.
Hmm.
And I
He
say,
shakes it off. He dislikes the music, but he is not mentally affected.
Oh dear. No, thank you.
So Ellie notices the vines on fire, and she looks over at you, Stephanie, and she says, "The vines?" And she aims her crossbow. She's on Edric with her aiming reticule, and she goes a little bit to the left to aim at some of the vines that are holding him up in the sky. And she
She's not
rolls.
no-scope? Boo.
Yeah, she hits.
She holding on us or what?
So she is going to pierce some of these vines with her arrow. And so the vine holding up Edric by his right shoulder is pierced and snaps, and he kind of dangles a little bit to one side, like like a marionette puppet, but like it loses a string. So it's like it's still upright, but it's a little more flimsy. So he suddenly loses a little bit of control of these vines.
Perfect. So I see what Ellie's doing, and I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. I then inspect the vines around. Do I see any sort of weakening vines that look ripe for the shooting?
The ones on fire look pretty. They're fraying.
Okay, is the other shoulder one of the ones on fire?
Those are the ones on his upper body. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out my short bow, and I'm going to shoot an arrow at that vine.
Okay.
Short bow, attack bonus +4, so 15.
It's not gonna do it, unfortunately.
Oh, fuck. Really?
So you have the right idea as you fire your bow, but your accuracy is not quite as good on this shot as Ellie's, and you miss. Also narrowly missing the ghost hawk, but everyone is okay. Don't worry. You can move or say something, but your action is done.
Okay. I'm going to say
You have
this
a
for the pod.
catchphrase?
Yeah. There.
Great.
Really? That's your catchphrase? That's kind of weird.
Edric's up. Edric kind of snaps to attention, realizes this shit is not going great for him. He looks down at all four of you standing in the same basic, for sure, at least in a 20-foot cube, at least. I can tell you that much because no one has moved. And he aims his staff at the ground where you are standing, and a fountain of churned earth and stone erupts under your feet. Everybody must make a dexterity saving throw.
It's a big ol' 8 for me over here.
I got a 16.
Okay, 13.
So as he aims his hand or staff down, and the earth around you fractures and starts like spouting, it's like an eruption of earth, you might even say, because that's the name of the spell. The rocks and the parts of the earth that fly up connect directly with Ellie and Stephanie. Val and Jared, you're able to kind of dodge out of the way a little bit. You are still hit, but not as badly as the two elves.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the ground underneath you becomes very rocky and hard to manage, and it is now difficult terrain. Ellie and Stephanie are going to take 16 points of damage,
Fuck, I'm bloody.
and Jared and Val, you will take 8 points of damage.
What the fuck?
For his second action, he is going to look over his shoulder at this goofy-looking space hawk. He's going to cast Dispel Magic and blink the hawk out of existence.
Jesus Christ.
And he looks down as the bees and fire still are swarming him. He's not happy about the current situation, but you can tell he gets a little bit of a smirk on his face seeing the two elves take some damage. His turn is
Very
over.
Cool. Which means that the old
Jessica's
fireball.
5 turns are up next.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just gonna be 3.
Yeah, he got rid of the hawk, so now
Got rid of
just now just bees and fire.
Okay, so make a dexterity saving throw for me.
He can actually do those again now, so let's actually roll for one. Fuck, Edric, god damn it. He rolled a 6 +1, or +2. Either way, not good.
Good.
rolled
He
a- he rolled a
takes
6.
10 fire damage.
Shit.
Now let's resolve those bees because they're next.
Before,
They don't hit at all.
okay, so remember that. As this fireball, literal ball of fire, smacks into Edric again, 3 of the vines on his upper torso have caught fire and now burn away so much that he's lost his grip. They are no longer holding him. So
What's holding him?
he now has just the ones around his legs. So he's kind of
Does that mean he's dangling upside down?
he's now
Oh!
dangling upside down for this split
like
second
an idiot.
by his feet. like in a cartoon movie.
Like a stupid person.
That is why when the bees go to sting his face, they miss because he is falling and now upside down, going oh.
I got a question. Is he wearing a cape?
He has a big a big cloak.
Okay, so is that now over like?
And his butt
like,
comes
like
out.
Superheroes should not wear capes because in awkward situations, it's just gonna fuck them up and like get in the way.
I mean, like when you go upside down, your shirt doesn't fall off; it just kind of bunches up around your neck, you know.
So we see his chones.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see that he's wearing
tidy whities, literal Hanes tidy whities in this fantasy world.
Do any embarrassing pieces of memorabilia and or pocket objects fall out of his?
Can we pre-loot him?
nothing falls out of his pants, but you see that he has a tattoo on his lower back.
What does it say?
Is it of tribal design? Is it a tribal tattoo?
Yeah, it's a tribal tattoo.
Oh,
It's
gross.
it's the letter E with like some fucking barbed vines wrapped around the E.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
He senses that everyone sees it and he says, "It was a different time."
Incredible.
So go ahead and
Thank
take
you
your turn,
for
Stephanie.
this gift. Bonus action first. Let's do that flame. Because now his little tootsies are hanging out there with the rest of the vines, right? So I'm not gonna smash his body. I mean, it's just gonna go.
I am. I'm just kidding.
For it. Oh my god. I'm going to try to burn his feet and the rest of the vines that are there.
Okay.
So gonna pull back and ram his little tootsies. Oh, only 4 damage.
Ah, nuts.
Wah wah. Okay,
Damn,
my
I was
turn.
hoping he would fall to the ground.
My turn.
But it does hit him, right? So the vines around his ankles are doing that orangey embering thing again.
Okay.
So they're getting hot.
How many vines are on each side?
He's got 2 vines left. One on each ankle.
On each side? Oh, one on
And
each
they're-
ankle.
And they're currently on fire.
They are catching fire.
Okay, if I use control flames, where I can expand, extinguish, brighten all of the things, the fire that is on the vines now, can I somehow intensify it so it breaks one of the vines?
So the one that just looked like it was kind of like a hot orange kind of tint erupts into actual flame. And the vine starts weakening even further than it would have if you would have waited another turn. Val.
So I'm going to run now immediately underneath him. So now the distance is really just 30 feet, just vertically. Okay. And I'm going to run, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to turn, and then you're going to hear a chkunk, and the back panel on Val's chassis pops open, up flying in the air, and doing a quick little somersault and landing in Val's robot hands is Chucklebuck, the haunted doll from earlier.
He's not haunted.
Oh, sure. Okay. It's
He's
doll.
he's a pull string. He's a toy.
Yeah, okay. And then in like this sort of like very almost flamboyant stance, one leg kind of goes backwards a little bit, and then the shoulders tip to one side, and then one hand reaches up as far as it can go, and then the other hand goes sort of like pulling an arrow and a bow, grabs the little string on the back of the toy, pulls it back, lets go, and then reaches up as high as Val can, which is like 4.5 feet. Almost like holding up a Tron disc, like leaving the mainframe. That's what's happening right now.
Like holding up Simba at the beginning of Lion King.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm aiming this thing directly at Eldrick. I always said Edric.
Edric is his actual name, yeah.
Edric?
You pull the string on Chucklebuck.
I pull the string, and
as it reaches full tightness and starts to go back in, you hear the familiar voice from inside the doll say, "Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb."
It's pretty good.
Ding, ding, ding-a-ling-ding sound effect that I always
I like
use
that
for...
it's a bee pun, too.
Yeah.
I have a
pretty
whole
good.
list.
Pun is
I
good.
picked the most appropriate one. Let me make a note that I have used that
Wait,
one now.
does that mean Chucklebuck is conscious, and
Self-aware?
sentient, and yeah. Does
That
that
is
mean that this
actually
doll that's
haunted.
been riding around in this dark compartment in the back of a metal body of a little robot knows about its surroundings?
An interesting discussion for another time.
Oh my god, I don't want this thing anymore. Ah.
Okay, what happens, David?
I don't know. You tell me. You just told me what I got. You never gave me the stats for this boy.
You have the fucking doll. Jesus Christ.
I don't have it written down or anything.
I give. Okay, he has to succeed on a wisdom save. Sorry, David.
What
He crit.
the fuck? What?
He crit.
Oh no.
So he hears this joke and he says, "Puns are the lowest form of comedy." And he is unaffected.
Boo.
You still have another charge, Dave, so you can try it
do?
again. Yeah.
As my bonus action.
You don't. Is that her bonus? Ellie is up. Ellie was staggered by this erupting earth attack. So she reaches onto her back and pulls out a staff that she had on her back. And we, as the audience, recognize it as the Staff of Healing that Barrymore brought to the party. And she looks at it and holds it in her hand and looks a little bit nervous, as this is something she's never really used before. And she goes, go! And she holds it up into the sky and casts Mass Cure Wounds as a wave of healing energy washes out from the staff. And that means Stephanie, Ellie, Jared, and Val will regain 12 hit points each.
Love you, girl.
Wow.
This is it for you.
And as she holds it up and kind of like closes her eye like she's not sure what's going to happen, and then as she feels herself feel better and her wounds kind of heal up, she looks at Stephanie and she goes, "I did it!"
You did great. That's so good. I love this look for you.
And as Edric is kind of spinning around, he sees that and goes, "Harumph!" And it is Jared's turn in the order.
I'm going to go back to good old reliable chromatic orb. He's still hanging, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to aim towards his feet, essentially.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot a fire-based chromatic orb at his feet.
That is a good idea. Roll with advantage because he's he's dangling and he
Okay.
sucks right now. So roll with advantage because I think that would be easier to hit him in this instance.
Okay, I got a 7 plus 3, so 10.
No, still not.
Yeah. Damn it.
Nice try.
So you fire this, basically another fireball, a smaller fireball, and it goes sailing over his feet and dissipates and disappears into the big empty tree space in the back. And on Edric's turn, God, I never thought he would be dangling like this. So the one vine that you increased, Stephanie, the intensity of the fire on, snaps. And he is now dangling by one leg in this precarious position.
Wait, hold on. So is he dangling like the two from the sides? This is how I envisioned it. I envisioned him like dangling like this with like two arms holding him like here. So if one of them snaps, wouldn't he fall over to the wall?
He starts to.
Okay.
He starts to fall, and then he like snaps his fingers, and the vine lets go of him. And he falls 30 feet to the ground. Hey, Val,
Uh-huh.
make a dexterity saving throw. As Edric starts to plummet down to the earth, since you were right under him holding this doll like Simba.
That's a 2 plus 2.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
shit.
It's a good thing I'm back to full health.
Edric is going
Good
to
job, Val.
fall and take 14 falling damage, while you,
Incredible.
Val, as this old elf man falls on top of you, take 7 bludgeoning damage. And
It's a living.
he falls right on top of you. You both fall prone to the ground. And it kicks up some dirt, some debris on the ground of this interior of this tree. And Val, you feel Edric take a few quick breaths. And then you feel something else, Val. You feel Edric's body start to change shape. And where his arms and legs are draped over you suddenly grow larger in size and become covered in fur. and his feet and hands become paws. Let me get through this so people can hear. His feet and his hands become paws, and his torso grows in size, also covered in fur. His head somehow grossly morphs into 2 heads that you can instantly smell the breath from, that it is rancid and putrid and terrible, as Edric has transformed into a death dog, which is a big, ugly, 2-headed, nasty dog.
Oh my goodness.
And that is his turn. Hello, my name is Danny, and I am a Dungeon Master and the Dungeon Master for the Quest Friends Forever podcast, the one you are listening to right now. Let's do some business and then get back to this fight. Here we go. As you are certainly aware, as a regular and fanatical listener of our podcast, wink wink, we are part of the Nostalgia Network family of podcasts. You can find out more about that network at www.thenostalgianetwork.com. That network features shows such as Quest Friends Forever, your favorite D&D podcast. All right, fine, your 4th favorite D&D podcast, whatever. As well as The Nostalgia Podcast, where Eric and Jessica from our show talk about movies and remakes and sequels and TV shows and all kinds of pop culture stuff through a queer and feminist lens. It's a great show. I should know. I edit it. And you know what? I'm going to say it's pretty good. There's also the Lousy Advice podcast. That's the band Lousy Advice, featuring Eric from our show. They talk about music and make all kinds of top 10 lists, top 11 lists maybe, about things they like. That show is on a bit of a hiatus right now, but as you wait for them to come back with their good content, you can listen to their back episodes. That's all available through the website or on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. There's also a new show in the works. I'm recording this in early September, but it might be announced by now. By the time you're hearing this, I'm not quite sure, but we will make a specific certain announcement about it when it's ready. But we're working on a new show, some of us, and it's about a beloved television show, so we hope you will be loving that podcast. Haha. Yeah, we'll let you know when that's ready. While you wait on the edge of your seat for those updates, you can be sure to follow us on all sorts of social media platforms. There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there is YouTube, there's Twitter. Our handle on those is at Quest Friends Forever, the number 4. We usually post mostly on Instagram, sometimes TikTok, hopefully soon. You'll be able to see when new episodes go live, or when we make a meme or something, or when we take pictures of ourselves while we're recording, being silly, all kinds of just fun stuff that of course you want to see. So why not give us a follow? Lastly, if you are enjoying what you are hearing, it would be just dandy of you, and it would mean the world to us if you would leave us a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever you're listening on, or just one you like, or all of them. I mean, that would also work for us. Those ratings and reviews are a massive help. As I've mentioned many times in the past, we continue to grow every month. Every month we have more downloads than we did the previous month, which is pretty awesome, as we're just 4 nerdy folks playing a silly dice game. But the fact that you guys are listening is pretty radical, and it means the world to us. So help us get out to even more people by leaving those ratings and those reviews, and we'll all be friends together. Okay, but for real though, let's get back to this fight. Let's see what happens. I know you've all been dying for it. We've been in this forest for a long time. Let's figure out what the resolution is. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and we'll talk then. Bye-bye. Stephanie, you are up.
Wait. I look at the dog.
Greetings. I am a variance Alpha Psionic Alt.
Just kidding.
The dog growls furiously with both of its heads in response. Stephanie, you're up. Edric is now on the ground, 20 feet in front of you, on top of Val, as a 2-headed dog.
First things first. The bees are going to take their final action. They are going to dive for this target with their last breath, beating little wings.
Their one last breath.
For an 11.
11's not going to do it.
Okay, then they dissipate and they are done.
Goodbye, bees.
They return to the book from whence they came.
We'll be you later.
You will be missed.
Hey.
Won't you
Okay.
be my Valentine?
All right.
It's flaming sphere time. Gonna ram it into. So it's gonna go boom, like it's like
Bounce off him
bouncing
like a basketball.
off. It's gonna bounce off of him like a basketball. Yeah.
Okay.
So, saving throw, please.
This is of the dexterity variety.
Correct.
A 13 plus 2 for a 15.
Well, you definitely made it. Definitely did.
Well, then I'm
That
sad
is
to
a-
report that to dodge this fireball, he scurries off of Val, but Val remains in the same place. So this fireball is going to hit Val, unfortunately.
Ouch.
6 points of damage.
Ouch.
And then it comes back up because we said it bounces. So
And the
it's
dog-
like 10 feet in the air.
And the dog guffaws somehow.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fucking
shit.
moonbeam. That's it. Moonbeam it. I am moonbeaming the fuck out of this fucker.
The fan favorite Moonbeam has made its triumphant return.
Welcome back.
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain and must make a constitution saving throw. A shape changer makes its saving throw with disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light.
Is that fucking
fuck
true?
yeah.
Moonbeam can do that? Fuck
I
this
thought
game.
you were looking at druid spells this whole time.
I saw Moonbeam and I was like, he wouldn't know that. That's dumb.
Got him.
Okay.
That's dumb.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Calm down. Everyone,
Okay,
hey,
so-
calm down.
I'm gonna fucking moonbeam, and it does it on the first whenever I first cast it, right?
So if you put it on him, that would be the first time.
Okay. Excellent. So I'm gonna stay back where I'm at and fucking moonbeam.
By the way, before I roll this, what is your charisma, Stephanie? Isn't it 5?
No, it is 6 now.
You have the same charisma as the death dog. It's a 7 plus 2 for a 9.
Ooh, that's great. Good. Here we go. So that's 9 damage.
You're not a dog anymore.
And are now Edric again. And you
So
can't
the-
assume a different form until you leave the spell's light.
So this moonbeam comes flying down out of the sky, even though we are indoors. Well, we're inside of a tree. Whatever. There's a small hole in the tree at the top where this moonbeam, even though it is early in the morning, comes crashing down into the tree.
Danny, but just because it's daytime doesn't mean the moon's not still out there.
That's true. You got me. That's science. Like a stage spotlight, it shines just in Edric's little circle, right out of range of Val, burning him for 9 damage. And as the smell of seared fur starts to fill the air, and the putrid drool of the dog kind of flings around as he whips his 2 heads around to look at the damage on his body, he instantly starts changing again, very similar to what you just saw. And the 2 heads kind of coalesce. I don't know if that's the right word. They kind of morph back into each other to form one head. And after a few seconds of transformation, you are once again looking at Edric, the elf, on all 4s on the ground.
Hello
he is-
there.
Is his cape like flung over his head? So like once again we can see his tidy
His
whities
tattoo,
and
his tattoo is back
his
out
tattoo,
again. Yeah.
and he can't really see anything because his cape is over his eyes.
He looks at you, Stephanie, and he looks fucking pissed that this happened.
You don't remember, showing that one off, do you? You don't remember.
Val,
So he looks upset.
he looks pissed.
He looks angry.
He had a whole thing planned where he was going to be a 2-headed dog and run around and do cool stuff, and then someone took that away from him and not me, but him.
Well, Val doesn't like it when people are angry.
Oh, sure.
Val likes to spread love and joy and make sure that people are happy.
Val's great at that.
So Val slowly gets up from being pummeled to the ground.
Sure.
And just also with all this fire stuff happening in a very, very, very close proximity to Val, you can't tell unless you're up close, but there's a big weed smell now coming from Val because
yeah.
all that stuff that was inside, it's all kind of
Yeah.
going, you know?
The resin
kinda-
is
kinda-
catching fire.
Yeah,
Sure.
the resin's just starting to cook off again. And Val very slowly, with taking such a great amount of effort, lifts up the stupid doll again. And then with the other hand, goes to grab the fucking pull string and slowly pulls it back, and with all of Val's might, just holds it in front of Edric.
Did you hear about the circus fire? It was intense. It's a good thing you didn't do it on the dog, because the dog would not have been affected, because the dog had an intelligence score of 4 or lower. But Edric does have a score higher than that. So it is a wisdom save. He rolled a 9.
You fail.
Okay.
Ha!
So Edric hears this one, and you see him kind of have a puzzled look on his face, like he's thinking about it for a second. And then he realizes, oh, intense. It's like wordplay. And he starts to kind of chuckle, like, ho, 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 ho. And that grows into louder to ho, 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 ho. And he starts launching himself into a fit of uproarious laughter, and he falls to the ground, clutching his sides, saying, "My gut has been busted. Ha, 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 ha."
Oh my god.
And he is laughing hysterically on the ground where the dog once stood. And Stephanie, this is a very, very bizarre sight for you. You have never seen this man laugh in your entire centuries-long life.
I hate it.
It is actually quite disturbing. Like, he's not even good at laughing. Just ho 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 ho. Like, it's bad. It's a bad one.
I did it.
Ellie's up. And so Ellie she switches back to her bow. She actually she has a very quick change inventory. She switches her bow out for a sword. That's what I meant to say. She pulls out her short sword and goes, "All right, let's get him." And then charges forward and does a one of those cool like action movie jumps where she like wheels the sword all the way back and then brings it down and attempts to hit Edric. She rolled a 10 plus 5 for a 15, which definitely hits. She connects with this sword on this prone old man and gives him a stab right in the right in the clavicle area near his shoulder for a total of 8 damage. She rolled a 6 on a d6. However, since the damage kind of gets Edric's attention a little bit, he is going to try to shake the cobwebs out and get out of this. So on Hideous Laughter, anytime the target takes damage, they can make another wisdom saving throw to try to get out of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Whoops.
The target has advantage on the saving throw if it is triggered by damage. He doesn't pass. No, he's still...
It was a good joke.
Laughing is just so unnatural to him that he's so...
He rolled.
It's actually causing more damage because the muscles required next to your lungs, like on your outside of your rib cage, required for laughing, have never been used before. So he's
stretching out some weird muscles. Yeah, he rolled a fucking 3 and a 5 is what he rolled. I hate these dice. So he snaps to attention for a second when he gets stabbed in the shoulder, and then looks at the wound, and then looks up at Ellie and goes, "Oh, good one," and is still laughing like an idiot, which brings us to Jared's turn.
Okay. So where is his body placed on the ground? Can I see his neck?
Oh yeah, he just got stabbed in the shoulder. He's on his back, kind of holding.
He's on his back.
He's like holding his belly as he's laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my bow again, and I'm gonna aim for his neck.
Jesus,
brutal.
Okay, fire away.
So I got a 15 plus 4.
That's gonna hit him.
So 19.
That's gonna hit him.
Gonna hit the fuck out of him.
This arrow, you release the string, and this arrow goes soaring through the air like a avenging angel in the night, and plunks this motherfucker in the neck, like the side of the neck, and just sticks in. And he goes ho 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 ho, and
gargle noise.
Tries to now snap out of his fit of laughter again. 19. Oh, I'm gonna play the game again. And it turns out an arrow to the neck is enough to make someone stop thinking things are funny and make them take things a little bit more seriously.
I was excited for you to fail and to have to continue to gargle laugh.
So he's laughing. Ho 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 oh "Oh, I don't care for this," he says. And he is free of his laughter fit, which is good because it's his turn.
Moonbeam first.
First, before I thought it was the end of his turn. It's the beginning of his turn?
When a creature starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames.
So
He's
not
still
just
in
regular
that.
flames.
No,
Ghostly
ghostly flames,
flames.
that cause searing pain.
Okay, and that's a save for me.
Constitution.
It is a 17
fella.
plus 2 for a 19.
Good. It takes half as much damage.
Okay. He sidesteps the spotlight and only gets a little bit of him. And again, surveys the situation that is not going great for him. Pretty bad, actually, for him. So the first thing he's going to do is collect himself from this fucking mess he's in. And then he is going to point a finger at Val and cast a spell.
Oh dear, no thank you.
He casts heat metal. And Val, you're made of metal. So you start suddenly feeling
Fuck.
very, 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 very hot, Val.
Uh-oh.
And you're going to take 14 points of fire damage from this.
Holy shit.
And then I say,
Uh-oh. There seems to be some trouble with my memory engram matrix. I'll run a diagnostic protocol. Just a sec.
but instead it goes, and that's it.
Are you down or are you still up?
I have 4 hit points left.
Oh my goodness. For his second spell action, now that he has burned Val up, he looks back at Ellie, who's right on him. He looks at Jared and Stephanie, who are a few feet away, and he starts like flexing and like he's kind of like shaking a little bit. And you notice his fingernails grow longer and sharpen, and the teeth in his mouth, as he's baring his teeth start to sharpen as well, as he has cast primal savagery on himself and is now this kind of grotesque, mean-looking version of the Edric that you know. And he, with his long nails, reaches out and slashes at Ellie, and he's going to hit her. So Ellie is going to take 7 points of acid damage. And the cut, he cuts her, she puts up her arms to block it, and he cuts her across the arms. And you see, like, the blood, like, this places where she got scratched, like, start glowing green almost right away. And once he does that, he kind of shakes out of it, and his nails and his teeth go back to normal. So, Stephanie, it is your turn in the order.
Before I do this, I'm going to say, "Yo, Barrymore!" And then I'm going to turn into a giant toad. And I just do that. So I need to make a bite attack. And then I'm going to attempt to swallow. Oh, I guess I have to. Okay, the toad makes 1 bite attack against a medium or smaller target. It's grappling. Okay, so I have to already be grappling it in order to. So I have to bite it first. Okay, so I'm going to bite it.
So you run up to him, because he's a little bit away from you now.
Oh, I hop.
You hop over. Okay.
Yeah.
In one solid hop, you go 20 feet, which is right where he is, and then you bite him.
Yes.
Okay, give me your shot. Shoot your shot.
14 plus 4 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it will.
So that's 8 poison damage. The target is grappled, and until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the toad cannot bite another target. So I can only bite this target.
He is
On
grappled.
the next turn, you could swallow him, though, right?
Attempt to.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. As you transform into this toad and hippity hop over to him and chomp him, where do you chomp him?
I'm gonna chomp like his upper half,
So his torso.
like the upper half. I don't want him to use his arms or his. I don't want him to talk. I just want to like get him real good.
So this is right after he slashed at Ellie. So the same arm that slashed Ellie, you chomp him on that side, his right side, like from his shoulder to like his hip, I guess, because you're a big old toad. And you take a big chomp out of him. He makes that noise. And as he's reacting to this hideous bite from this toad, no one really noticed, because this is a big tree. This is a big auditorium. But there was a little itty-bitty fly buzzing around this whole time. And Any casual observer would have chalked it up to being, oh, well, we're in a tree. Of course there's a fly. But this fly, my friends, this fly is different because from the sky, up in the air, about 30 or 40 feet up in the air, you just see Barrymore grow from this fly into her human form, her elf form, excuse me. And she begins falling toward the earth with her sword already out and in a downward motion at Edric. And she, as she falls, brings her blade down on the other arm that Stephanie was not biting, and she cuts off his arm from the elbow down.
Oh, shit.
Oof.
Blood sprays everywhere. He shrieks. Barrymore
You
lands.
can't hear it, though, because he's in my mouth.
Barrymore lands in a superhero landing, kind of. She doesn't land great. She actually take a little bit of damage because she fell pretty far. Not too bad. She took 4 damage. And she hits the ground and kind of clatters, and the sword clatters away, and she rolls onto her back and then rolls back onto her stomach and looks up and sees that she fucking got him. She got this guy that fucked up her whole life. And you see her just go, yeah! Val, it is your turn in the order.
Okay, well, I'm going to stand up very
You're gonna
slowly.
Wobble up.
Wobble up. Just to sort of... He's dead anyways, but just to kind
Not
of
yet.
drive the point... Just to
He is
kind of
not
drive
dead.
the point home, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Great.
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, wrecking it with terrible pain. So, I don't know if he's already in pain.
He's in a frog's mouth and his arm just got cut off. So what do you think?
But he talks shit about my music, and so that's the reason why I'm doing this. In fact, I'm going to give him another jam.
Let's get this party started.
And I'm sure he's
party's
thinking like,
already
oh,
going.
I hate house music, bah! Like that. And so it's a target must make a wisdom saving throw.
He got a 5.
That's a negative. 11 points of damage. And it says, well, who's this? I don't think this is going to do anything. It says, it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obvious dangerous ground, such as a fire, such as save, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so yeah, 11 points of damage.
So you hit him with this psychic song.
I mean,
And
it's good music.
You can
I
tell.
don't know what his fucking problem is. It's really
You
not
can-
even an attack. It's more just like a difference of opinion.
Yeah, I'm not hitting you. I'm just trying to open your horizons, Edric.
Yeah.
No, it hurts. It hurts him. And you see him kind of... Wait, is his head in your mouth, Stephanie?
His head and his, right arm. Or
Jesus.
Like-
Okay.
whatever.
From this point up.
Okay. So you see his remaining body that is out of this frog try to kind of pull away and get away from your direction, Val. But
Yeah.
since he is restrained, he goes nowhere and just takes the damage. Ellie is up. Ellie's freaked out a little bit by the sight of this fucking arm coming off and everything happening right in front of her. She's going to back up a little bit away from the situation. And she's going to kind of go back toward behind you, Stephanie, or I guess next to you. Ellie is going to see the situation. She's a little freaked out by the blood and everything happening. And she notices that, Val's chassis is, glowing red, which is not great from this heat metal. So Ellie she runs over to where Val is, and she looks like she's about to put her hands on Val, and then decides maybe not. And so
Not a
then she
good
just
idea.
she grabs the Staff of Healing and taps you with it very gingerly, casting Cure Wounds, and Val, you will heal for 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Jared, you know the scene before you. What will you do?
How close am I to this soon to be corpse?
You're probably 15 to 20 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna walk straight up to him.
Walk straight up to him.
Okay, so I have access to.
Like his belly button down.
Well, also
that
his,
true?
his left side, right? He has missing half his arm now, but his left torso and left leg are out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up. We're killing him, right? That's what we're doing.
You can't really
Have
stop.
we ethically have we decided what the choice is?
You can't really stop and ask right now, given
Crime
the
of
circumstances
passion.
of the fight.
It's a crime of passion. Don't worry about
I
it.
would say you won't be able to stop and ask anybody at this point because of what the fight is doing.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my short sword. I'm I am going to. His heart is in the same place as you would expect, correct?
He's an elf. Yeah, he's a humanoid elf.
Okay, so I'm going to point the tip of my short sword at the spot on his body that is his heart, and I'm going to stab him.
Uh-huh.
Like slowly?
Yes.
Like
Like
so-
menacingly.
Do so with advantage because he is restrained. If you fucking miss, I'm going to be so happy.
I got 17.
Okay, you got him. Yeah, you hit him.
okay, good.
So roll damage.
Okay.
How badly do you hit him?
4 + 2 is 6.
Okay. So you push your sword into where his heart should be. It's a little harder than you realized because he's got, ribs and a chest plate and stuff. But you definitely pierce him, and you get him. And it doesn't go all the way through him, maybe like you were possibly hoping. But you hit your sword into his body. And he lets out a terrible noise from inside the mouth of this frog. But he's still not dead. He is hanging on by a thread, and it is his turn. Does he have to do anything with a moonbeam or a fireball before he can act?
He's got. Turns out the frog's mouth
No.
had bees in it.
Yeah, because he's in you, so you're in the same space basically right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can try to get out of the grapple.
Okay, yeah, he'll try to do that. That's an 8.
Negative.
So he tries to pull away from this frog body, and it does not work. So with his last grasp of anything, he is going to, inside of the frog, cast a spell. Since his arm is already in you, he has his hand on your tongue, and he casts Blight. You must make a Constitution saving throw, Froggy.
No, that's a 4.
Okay. Stephanie, you're going to take 24 points of necrotic damage.
Cool.
But you're a frog, so you're fine?
39 hit points, baby.
Okay, great.
Wow.
So you feel icky and a little gross, but you are fine, I guess.
You're
And
fine.
As
We're
his
fine.
as his bonus action, he re-ups on heat metal on Val. Val, go ahead and take 11 points of fire damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
Where you at?
1 single hit point left.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Still hanging in there, though.
And Edric's turn
Some
is
good
over.
quality wiring that they did in this. The wiring harnesses are really, really, really well kept.
Stephanie?
Gonna make another bite attack. Because once I to swallow
Eat him.
the toad
eat
makes
him.
one bite attack against a medium or small target it is grappling. If the target hits, the target is swallowed. The grapple ends. The target swallowed is blinded and restrained and has total cover against attacks and other outside effects outside of the toad. It takes 3d6 acid damage at the start of the toad's turn. And yeah.
Eat him.
I got a 24.
Not a
Yum,
crit, but a
yum.
24.
Yummy.
Not a crit 24.
Either way, that's plenty. That is plenty.
Cool.
I love yummy
Okay.
villain.
11 points of damage, and now he is swallowed, so he's restrained and blinded and will take acid damage at each of my turns. And I go, bleh. That's a burp. You could put a burp in there, like a burping noise.
I don't need to because that was perfect.
And
Does
then
this
I
mean-
pat my tummy, and I jiggle it around in there, because he's... Yeah.
So Val,
Uh-huh.
Ellie, Jared, and Barrymore look on in possibly horror, I'll let you decide, as this big frog just gets Edric into their fucking just craw, and swallows him up. And he is gone from your sight, except for the half arm still laying on the ground where Barrymore sliced him. And Stephanie, as you put him into your mouth, you feel him struggling, fighting back, until he stops. He has no more fight left in him. Because
So now he's just being digested, right?
Edric
Oh,
is
you're
being
gonna poop him out.
digested because he is dead. The 800-year-old
There it
the
is.
800-year-old leader of the Petrichor Forest has died.
Mission complete.
And now that is the scene. You're all still inside the founder tree, and you have just experienced this event, I guess.
Does the tree go back down now that the person that cast it's just up there?
That's not how magic works in D&D. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Val like takes one step towards this big frog and takes another one, and you hear sort of like a mechanical, and then Val just tips over, just plap, lands on the ground,
Was
face
that
forward.
Mario?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm hurt.
Okay.
somebody-
Are you still a frog, or do you turn back?
I go bleh, and I like let him out so he's like gross and partially digested and all of that, and then I turn back. Look at him.
Barrymore on all fours still goes, "Holy shit!"
I mean, we did it.
Congrats.
Ellie is just standing there next to Val, holding the staff, just staring at you, Stephanie. Like, okay, what do we do now?
I don't know,
Well,
but that was pretty fucking cool.
I didn't really. I guess. Stephanie walks over to the edge and kind of like looks down. I guess that's a thing. We need to figure out how to get down. That might be a good place to start.
As you peer over the edge of the raised plateau that is now the founder tree, you see that the thousands of people that showed up in support of you are still there. The guards that were guarding the gate or the entrance to the tree are also down there, but no one is fighting, no one is clashing. Everyone's just kind of waiting to see what happens. So everyone's just looking up. Like they could hear some of the sounds, you know. They knew there was something going on in there, but everyone was just waiting to see. So everyone's staring up at you as you peer over the edge. And as you do, because they can see that it's you, you hear from 100 feet away the voice of your friend Zabornak, the oldest of the three teenage girls, go, "I think she did it!" And then you hear, "Oh, she did it, oh, she did it. And then Sari Jeinfeld, "I think she did it!" And Dran Fresher,
Dran.
"Oh my god, she did it!" And the crowd starts to buzz, and you hear the din of the crowd start to go louder and louder and louder as these conversations start to pass from person to person.
And then I like look at everybody and I'm like, I guess come here. Guys, come here.
Okay.
And I have everybody come to my side. Barrymore, Ellie, Val, and Jared.
Val takes a very long time to get over there.
And
Val's limping.
I just kind of I grab Ellie and I grab Barrymore's hand and I kind of just like raise them up. Like, we did it. We won. We did it. Like, confirmation for everybody that it is done.
The din of the conversations grows even louder and erupts into cheers from these thousands of people. It is now basically the end of Return of the Jedi, when all the different, people are cheering around as the fireworks go off.
Val raises one
people
hand
love it.
and casts dancing lights so that we have our own little fireworks behind us.
So it's exactly like the end of Revenge of the
it's
Jedi.
exactly
What's
what
that
it
movie
is.
called? Return of the Jedi. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Can you help me down? How do we get down from here? We need help.
If only somebody in the party had a spell that could help with falling. Perhaps.
Oh, I do. Okay. Can I cast it on all of us?
Up to 5 targets.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Everyone jump off the side. So I'll cast it first.
Good idea.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and cast Featherfall on all of my friends, me and all my friends. You're light as a feather. Jump off the side of this building now. I'll jump first. Whee!
I'm going to hold Ellie's hand, like, just kind of like wait back with me for a second while everybody else jumps off.
Val.
I'm gonna jump off holding Barrymore's hand. And almost in like I was saying, like with the enthusiasm that you would yell cowabunga when jumping out of an airplane,
Mm-hmm.
Val yells,
Hello.
but it's like, hello.
Right before you get ready, as you're saying hello, Val, Barrymore looks over her shoulder back at Stephanie, and she goes, "Thank you again." And they jump off, leaving Ellie and Stephanie at the top of this Founder Tree Plateau.
Okay. Stephanie takes Ellie's hand, takes both of them, and lets herself look freaked out, like she's not trying to hold it in anymore for a second. That just happened. I know that we didn't. He's gone. He's gone, and I ate him. I don't know what I expected. I guess this was. It's a lot. This is a lot right now.
Ellie's kind of just looking. She's looking at you, and then she's kind of looks at the ground and looks back up at you and goes, "Yeah, I mean, I know that's like, I know that's why we came here, but this is this is a lot. So now what do we do?"
Are you mad at me?
No, of course not. I'm
Did
I'm freaked
I
out.
do the right thing?
I think we did the only thing we could have done. He would have killed us, honestly. And if I have to pick you or him, I'm going to pick you. Come on.
I mean, I guess I am better looking. Yes.
Well, I mean,
so.
All right.
Wait.
No, yeah. I mean, of course. That's just that's not really
okay.
the factors that play here.
I was trying to make a joke. I know I'm not good at this.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I couldn't tell.
Haha, lighten the mood. Somebody just died in my stomach. That's a weird thing. Okay. Okay. Can we talk about this later? I think I need to talk about this later. But we should probably get down there now.
Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. But we're okay.
Oh, we're fine. We just
Okay.
need to figure out, I guess, what we're going to do about the forest now.
Okay. Well, that's not just up to us. That's a conversation for everybody to have. So let's get our home back, and then we'll deal with our emotional scars and the deadness inside of us. Wow. Okay. Okay. She gives Ellie a big hug, and then let's go. Jump down.
And you jump off. And the five of you float down like a feather, the 100 feet from the plateau down to the waiting crowd below. Whee! And you are welcomed by all this zany cast of characters we've come to know in the Petrichor Forest. Sari Jeinfeld is there. Gran Fresher is there. You see all the familiar faces. There are hugs. People are happy that you have survived. And the camera just pans back as we see this whole crowd of people surrounding this giant tree. And that's the end of the episode.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Nostalgia Network.
Visit thenostalgianetwork.com for more.
Don't you hate when you're watching one of your favorite movies and think, whoa, that didn't age well?
Or when you see a reboot of your childhood fave and think, did we really need this?
Honestly,
Same.
That's why we started the Nostalgia Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss the retelling or continuation of pop culture favorites as seen through a queer and feminist lens.
That's Jessica Tercero.
And that's Eric Lefebvre.
Come join us for our bi-weekly conversations about pop culture reboots centered around things like
The patriarchy,
systemic racism,
harmful stereotypes and overgeneralizations.
and really just distinguishing when people just need to sit this one out.
Listen in on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube.
That's Nostalgia, spelled Nostalgia. Get it?
Not nostalgia. Like nostalgia, but with an extra T, so it's like not nostalgia.
Follow us for fun, critical conversations about media. And remember, stay cute.
And stay critical.
Bye-bye.
Bye.